I started attending Florida State University in January of 1969. I transferred from a junior college, and that was the very beginning of my career here at Florida State University. And the memory that stands out most in my mind is when I came over in January 1969, the very first thing that I had to do was to find housing. And I recall going into the housing office, and there were a list of names of individuals who had properties for rent. It was important for me to find a room rather than an apartment for monetary reasons. And my mom came with me, and we got the list of places that were available. And the very first thing that I recall is I went to this house in the community, which had a room for rent, and it was a nice area. And I knocked on the door, and this lady answered the door, and she looked at me, and she was startled for about 30 seconds, and it appears that she never said a word. She just kind of looked. And then all of a sudden she said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "I'm inquiring about the room that's for rent." Was over at the housing office. And she said, after thinking for a moment, "It's not available." So I went back to the housing office, and they suggested that I contact the Southern Scholarship and Research Foundation, which had rooms and spaces available for students. And I ended up obtaining housing and a scholarship through the Southern Scholarship and Research Foundation. And that turned out to be a very good thing for me, because I lived in a house adjacent to campus with other students, and I made some very good friends, and it was convenient to campus, but it turned out to be a very positive thing for me.
That's good. That it started off as a not so positive thing.
Well, I found that the university was a lot more progressive in 1969 than the rest of the community, and the university was more willing to make changes at that time than the community itself. And the Southern Scholarship and Research Foundation, and being adjacent to the campus, and friends I made the learning environment very positive.
That's great. That was really wonderful.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I graduated in 1970. I went to law school at Florida State University, and I also graduated from the law school, and I stayed in Tallahassee. By that time, I thought Tallahassee was a great place to live, and I've been living in Tallahassee for almost 35 years. I ran for office here in Tallahassee and a county judge here.